Hey Flosstube, it's Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. Today is November 9th and it's fall. If you look outside my window, you'll see that the majority of the leaves have fallen off the trees, but there are still some beautiful autumnal colors out there. Um, Today, I think I'm just going to put it around the house and try and clean my craft room and maybe do some stitching. I have to do some work on my computer for my regular job, but it is a nice, relaxing day. And we have had the most amazing, amazing fall that I can remember ever having here in Washington State, the Pacific Northwest. We've not really had much rain, and we've had some cold snaps, so the leaves are just really vibrant. The days are clear, and the trees, oops, sorry, I knocked you guys, bumped you a little bit there, but the trees have never been more beautiful. So we're enjoying that season before the rain comes and stays forever, or for several months anyway. So today I want to talk about a couple things. Fall Fling. I just went to at Acorns and Threads last weekend, had a great time. I'll talk about that. I have a finish. I want to show you a finish. And I have a couple new starts and a couple of whips. So let's get started. So last weekend I went to Fall Fling, and there were about 70 stitchers for Acorns and Threads, and we were at the Oregon Bar Association, which is a pretty nice building. We had a lot of room, ate some good food, had wonderful company, got some gifts, and bought some things because that's what we do at retreats, right? And so one of the things we got was this. I was a cross stitcher before cross stitching was cool. And I always think about that song, I was country when country wasn't cool. That's what this reminds me of. Cute. And I think somebody had an idea. Who was it? Maybe Emmy at my table, about making a little stitcher's kit in here. You know, putting an Ort jar and all your accoutrement that you need when you're on the road. Good idea, Emmy. There's that. Oops, stay. I picked up, I'll just show you some things that we got. Well, so Michelle Bendy was the featured designer, and unfortunately she couldn't be there because of a family emergency, but I will show you just briefly. It's a snowman chart, and it's adorable. That girl's got talent. And it is stitched on, picture this plus, I don't know what color it is. Oh, Nocturne. And 32 count. You may have seen this on some videos already. Isn't that a pretty color? And here are the colors that are stitched on it, and the finish, the object that gets finished. Finishing plaque. So the way they had it finished is they had like a flat fold on here with cording around it. It'll be fun to stitch. I'm excited to start working on that. And we, in our little lunch pails there, we have these little snippets from Caddy Cross Stitches. This is Marion the librarian. So you might see her on the Pacific Northwest Cross Stitch group page, sometimes first Thursday meetup. And this has a magnet in it, so you can throw your needle minder or your scissors on it. But Fall Fling 2019, very cute. I liked it so much that I picked up from the pop-up shop another one, a bigger one that has acorns on it, because I'm in a fall mood with all the beautiful trees. These are so handy, and I like that they're a little bit stiff, so they don't fall apart. You know what I mean? They don't get all soft and wrinkly. They should hold their structure really well. Thank you, Marion. And Janine in her pop-up shop had consignment fabric from Lakeside. So Lori Textiles and I each bought a fat half, and we're going to cut them and share. This one is called Bittersweet. They're 40 counts, of course. I don't know if you can see. There you go. Bittersweet is the color. And it's sort of a light blush color. And lightly modeled, and it'll be really nice, good for samplers. I also picked up from Acorns and Threads. Is this from that weekend? Yes. Weeks Dye Works on 40 count, the Zweigart base parchment. I'm stitching on parchment a couple of new starts on the 46 count, but I do like it's blowing out a little bit. It's a little bit. There we go. It's a pretty color. That's 40 count. And what else did I pick up? Friday night of Fall Fling, we went to the shop because she had an open shop shopping time for the retreat goers, and I picked up 2 Glorianas. One is Cinnabar and one is Autumn Arbor. Aren't those gorgeous? And I have an idea of where to stitch those. So I think Gloriana might be my favorite silks. I always go to the silk wall, and that's the display I go to first. So lovely. And at Fall Fling, at the actual retreat place at the Oregon Bar, Annie from Gloriana Threads was there with some, these aren't samples, but they're like thread packs. And this is Flora Mel Silk Floss, 3 5-yard skeins. And there's Soie d'Alger. Aren't those pretty colors? Again, in the fall mode. Now, she said something that was interesting, and I did not realize this. She said there's 3 dyers in the United States who dye for Soie d'Alger, and she's one of them. I didn't ask who the others were because it was pretty crowded, and I was chatting with her for a little bit, but I thought she was fascinating to listen to. And Melanie from Melanie Smith Yarns and Threads, we were standing there looking at the threads together. She had some pashmina thread, which is cashmere and silk together blended. It's a thicker thread, and it can be divided and even subdivided, but if you subdivide it, the strands become pretty fragile. So she gave us a cut of that to stitch with, and I think Teresa from Kitten Stitcher has a kit that of a red sampler she made last year or the year before that has pashmina and silk from Gloriana in it. All right, I picked up Souvenirs of the Heart. I did not get this one. Brenda did not have this at the Midwest retreat, so I picked it up from Janine. Home for Christmas, and isn't that adorable? And then the last, actually, I picked up 2. Plum Street, Bless Our Land. This was in her fall release, and I think that's adorable. Pineberry Lane, Ode to the Busy Bee. I have not seen this one before, and the colors in it, I think, are going to be wonderful. Ode to the Busy Bee by Pineberry Lane. So that's what I picked up at the Fall Fling retreat, I think, for stitching items. I just had a great time. I met some new stitchers and new to me stitchers, and at my table was Carrie, was sitting to my right, and she's from Oregon. She moved from San Diego. Bless her heart, she was not feeling too well the whole time, but she was a trooper, and we really enjoyed getting to know her. Lori Textilis was standing next to her, and you all know Lori. On the other side was Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42, and Emmy, who stitches with Michelle and Chelsea down at Panera in Eugene. Emmy, what is your channel name? I will insert it here. Emmy was at our table, and then Robin from Lady Robin S. She was at our table, and her friend Lynn. So we had a fun table, but that didn't keep us from meeting people around us either. So behind me was Java Girl Stitches and Diddly Dally Bags and Anna Rose. Now, Anna is hilarious. She came up and gave me a big hug. I love that. I'm not going to be appalled if you come up to me and say, I know you, you don't know me. So if you see me at a retreat, come talk to me, because I don't know that you know me. I assume you probably don't know me unless you tell me you do. And I'm always excited to meet other stitchers. We had Pumpkin Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts and Melanie. We had stitchers. We have Flosstubers and non-Flosstubers all throughout the floor. So I'm gonna miss people. Gazelle's Needlework was there. We had dinner with those girls one night. Unfortunately, Uber took them to the wrong restaurant location. So, and we had a late reservation anyway. So they joined us, but it was toward the end of our meal. What else? Gosh, so many good things. There's a snowman wool applique type of a make and take that Jolene made from Acorns and Threads. She's so talented. She's got skills, that girl does. And she's very patient, good teacher, taught us when we had questions. She would demonstrate and demonstrate and demonstrate. So I appreciate that. Anna from Quilt Roadie, Stitch Roadie was there, and it was nice chatting with her. Just, oh gosh, all kinds. I'm sure I'll get off this video and forget and remember who I've forgotten to mention. So if I met you and I didn't mention you, I'm so sorry. It's a busy day already today in terms of the stuff I'm going to try and get done. So, I mean, it's leisurely, but it's still, I got to keep pace with stuff. So, all right. There's that, and there's that. We stitched on Saturday. We stitched on Sunday. Janine announced, from Acorns and Threads, announced that there won't be a fall fling in 2020 because there's going to be a cross-stitch retreat. And it's at a hotel, and the designers are Beth Twist and Paulette from Plum Street. So the signups haven't happened yet. I would watch Janine's website. The people who went to Fall Fling this year will have first dibs at signing up for the retreat. It should be a great time, and I'm looking forward to it. So I signed up for that. I also signed up for Acorn Gatherings, which is a day trip in January. You know, when you don't have anything to look forward to, it is nice to book something so that when you are in the long days of winter and are looking forward to something different and new to do, you have something planned. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, take a breath. I just downloaded a bunch of stuff on you guys. Let me show you a couple of other things here before I get into whips. I picked up, this is French General. Did I show you this last time? I can't remember. I might have. It's a ruler. And it was Lori's birthday, so I bought one for her, and then I bought one for me because, oh, I did say something about this last time because I said I need a mannequin in my room to hang it around the neck, and then I realized I don't need anything like that in my craft room right now. Lori and I went to what she calls the Quilt Costco. It's like a wholesale quilt place before we went to Fall Fling, and I picked up buttons and buttons. A lot of buttons. They were, you know, and more buttons. So I use a lot of buttons on my project bags that I sell on my Instagram page, Kindred Stitcher Designs, at Kindred Stitcher Designs. So I just need to spend some time cutting some more bags out and getting them ready for sale because I have some fabric that I picked up. Shocker, right? I did pick up some trim. This is really, isn't that pretty? Brick rack. She can't have enough brick rack. And then my honeysuckle berry from the Dine to Stitch Club came in. Isn't that cute? She has such a way with berries. And look at the finishing, the tops of those. They're so dang cute. So that came in. And then I picked up Tra-La-La. I think Priscilla is stitching this one. And I saw it and I really liked it. And then this one too. Because look at that mouse. Christmas mouse on that sleigh and that Santa with his hat. Cute. I picked up some Blackberry Designs fabric online. So I've kind of been looking for fabric from them because they are not producing fabric any longer. I guess you could see it this way too. There's like a ship. Isn't that cute? This was from a couple of fabric lines ago, so that one's not going to be easy to find. So that's it for shopping for Fall Fling, as far as I can remember. I didn't take notes, so I can't be held accountable because I don't have notes to look at. I can be held accountable. Here's a vintage stitch. This came from a cross-stitch magazine. I can't remember what it is. I might still have it, and if I dig it up and find it, I'll link it below, or I'll mention it below. But this is just in a frame. I don't know where I got the frame, and the mat came with it. So it fit, which was great because I didn't have to pay to frame it. I probably could have done a better job of pinning it, but I'm not going to redo it. Let's be honest, right? I got other stuff to do. And stitch 9. So a couple things with stitch 9. I have a finish. I was close, and now I have a finish. Christmas garden is done. So this is stitched on a, here, get a little bit closer. This is stitched on a silk weaver. I did press this. I guess I didn't do a very good job. It's a silk weaver, and I want to say it's either clay pebble or almond something. If I get back here, you can see it. It's sort of blown out right now because of the lighting in here. It's actually pretty warm, and the colors I substituted are Gloriana silks. I chose black cherry, thistle green, coffee bean, and old gold. And I love, love, love it. So that's my FFO. On the way down to Fall Fling, Lori and I stopped at Craft Warehouse, and I was going to look for a frame for Heap on the Wood, which I stitched, I think, in 2017. And I had some finishes I was going to take for the brag table at Fall Fling, only I ended up framing all my finished pieces. So I had 3 of them, 3 samplers. And what I found was that, first of all, I really like their framing at Craft Warehouse. That if you don't have glass and you don't have matting, it really doesn't cost you a ton to frame an item. So, I mean, cumulatively, yes, it'll cost you money, but not as much if you don't have those items. So those will be out, and when I get those, I had just missed a sale that they had, so they have quite a bit stacked up in front of mine. Should be done the week of Thanksgiving. I have that week off. I plan to go pick them up. Because it's a couple of hours. It's about an hour and a half away. I'll run down and pick them up. And I'll show you because I love them. I can't wait to see them. And maybe I'll drop Christmas garden off. I don't know. We'll see. And for my other Stitch 9 pieces, here I have 2 left. I have, what is this called? Little Snowy Pink Cottage. And I love working on this. It's Krennic, but when you have a needle with an eye that's big enough, and then some people gave me a tip to knot the thread at the eye so it doesn't slip, which causes the unraveling sometimes of the Krennic. But this is so, look at the colors on this. And it is super sparkly. Sparkle, sparkle all day long. And I beaded it. So this is the pattern. I have basically some of this left to go. I did start it over here. And this will go, this actually stitches up really fast. And I'm thinking about picking up, I would like a square white frame to pick up the white in the snow, and I would love to find one that sort of is a lacquer finish white. That's what I ideally would like to have, but I don't know. That's pretty specific. We'll see if I luck out. The last one is this beauty, Something Old, Something New by Paula Vaughn. And it is mostly done. I have backstitching the dress reflection in the mirror, this little picture, and then a window over here. And it's pretty. It really is pretty. But I've decided I'm not going to spend any more time on this one. And because I have my next 9, actually it's 10, picked out for 2020. And I have so many other projects that I love, love, love working on that I'm not going to spend any more time on this. Now this is on an even weave. I think it's probably a 16 count even weave. And this is before I believed in small thread tails. So this is a mess on the back. This is before I knew any better. This is my first non-Aida piece I ever stitched. I don't have the heart to throw it away. but I'm going to give it away if you want it. I don't know if anybody wants it or not. I had thought about, here's the deal. On the bottom here, there are floorboards that you stitch in, and I don't know that they're going to run off the bottom of the page because I don't know that was a good measure at that point, but I don't think it matters. I think you could frame this, and I was thinking about doing a wall hanging with it. It won't matter. And so if you would like this, I don't know if anybody's going to want it, but if you would like it, please say, I would like the Polyvon. I would like the PV. How's that? Make it easy for you so you don't have to type as much. I would like the PV. And you could take it in your home and finish it and do whatever you want with it. So that was a difficult decision because I'm invested in these pieces, these stitch 9s. I really wanted to do them all. And I'm proud I got a lot done this year. And I thank you, Michelle, for the great idea. And I do plan to carry that forward into next year. But I'm going to let this one, I'm going to release it into the wild. And if you want the Polyvon, just say you want the Polyvon. And if there's only 2 of you, you can arm wrestle over it. How's that? So here are, I have 3 new starts. Where's my, that's a disaster in here. I might have to pause the video and go find one. I have where is that? I don't know. I'll show you what I do have. What I've started. Okay, so at Fall Fling, one night, and Fall Fling would stop like at 6 o'clock on the days that that we had stitching at the Oregon Bar. And so we were tired. I was tired, Laura was tired, but we decided we were going to have some new starts and we weren't not going to do it at the stitching room because it's easy. I mean, you pick up the fabric and turn it the wrong way, or you don't start in the right spot, and the start is like one of the most important parts of a project, right? It tells you if you're going to be on track or not. So we decided to go back to the hotel and lay all of our new starts out on our beds and do all the calculation, look at the area that we wanted to stitch on, make the right choice in the fabric. And in fact, I had one that I was going to start on that was a Brenda Gervais release, and I just decided to wait because I couldn't see the fabric well enough at night, and I didn't want to have to go rip stuff out. And I had 2 new starts anyway. So the first one is a tiny start. This is True Wisdom, gifted by the lovely Kyle Reckemeyer. And I have the ever so smallest start, the lower left corner. And I've decided that that is now my favorite place to start. For some, like my whole stitching career, I've been mostly a middle starter, which is great. You get right into the thick of things. And if you're questioning how much fabric that you have, that's a safe place to start. I pretty much buy half-yard cuts anymore. I figured out where to start this based on the direction of the fabric. Lower left, you can stitch. I'm a left to right person all day long. Lower left, you're close and your Q-snap to where you're stitching, so it's easier. And then once you stitch that band across the bottom on the lower part, then I move my Q-snap and again, bring the stitching closer to me. So ergonomically, it works the best for me. This is 46 count straw, I believe. Let me just double check. I don't know if I took the tag off of this. This is the Weeks. Oh, it's parchment. 46 count parchment. By Weeks, stitched, dyed on Swagart linen. Okay, and this is gorgeous. It is with the NPI silk conversion by my girl Julie at Reflections Framing and Stitching. I need to get some Flosstube bags because that will get out of control in a hurry. The other start I had, and this is with Melanie from Melanie Smith Yarns and Threads, is And To All Good Night by Blackbird. So this is how far I have gotten on this one. Now, it's a tiny little bit, and this is actually, it is in the middle, and it's this star. And the reason why I started in the middle because I wanted to make sure I had fabric in the right direction. I had enough of it. Now, when I started this, I thought I am never going to remember at which end is the top. So I just stitched a basting stitch across the top with a piece of thread. That way when I come back, I'll go, oh, that's the top. And here are the threads. Now I want to show you something. What's the thread? Make sure I get the right ones. Nope, those are the wrong ones. These are the right threads. So scrumptious and gorgeous. Scrumptious and gorgeous, right? So I want to show you something. I have 3 colors here. I have this one, and this one. These are all raspberry parfait. All of them. It's considerably different dyeing. And when you look at this, these are the bricks, right? So there's significant color variation. So honestly, as stripy as this one is, it's probably going to be the one that I'll start with. And I might need to kind of use a bit from a couple skeins to give it the variegation that is showing on the pattern, but it should be cute. And I can't wait to get that one done because I'm in a Christmas stitching mode. So I've shown you that. I showed you this. Some whips. Here is what I'm working on. Besides Christmas garden, English garden. I guess I'm all about the gardens right now. These are the colors, the gorgeous, gorgeous colors. All weeks. This is stitched on Vintage Tundra, and I would say when I post this on Instagram, I get the most comments and likes about this piece. People just love it because this fabric is, everything pops on it. The bottom band with the green vines and pink flowers in the middle is all new since I last showed you. This whole section here and this flower here. So there's one more band that's this width at the bottom, and it's huge and it's full of stitches. So that will be where I start next. I'll probably go ahead and run my box around it, maybe start to bring this down and then work my way across. I love this piece. This is Vintage Tundra by Lakeside Linens. So this was the Deck the Halls piece. It's sort of my travel piece. I can't remember if this third one was stitched completely or not. The last time I talked with y'all. And it is now. And isn't that adorable? I love it. And so I moved on to the third one. And there's all my extra threads stuffed into the book. So don't look at that. This is the next one that I started working on. And this is on Picture This Plus Sanguine. Again, it takes like a day or two to stitch these up. I did order, I have the lace that goes on the top of the strawberries. I picked that up from Hobby Lobby. And then I just got the, it is seam binding tape that is the ribbon that goes on top. So that came in the mail. I really enjoy stitching these. It's a lot of fun. Alrighty. So that's all I have today. I have no more retreats for the rest of this year. I don't really have a lot of stitching gifts either. I have one little exchange gift, but that's it. And that won't be due until next year. So that's great. Other than that, I think that's all. I'm rambling now. So I hope you get out and enjoy the autumn season. And I know that some of you have snow already, which is crazy. And some of you are still at like 85 degrees, which is also crazy. But I'm really enjoying autumn, and I hope to get outside today. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you next time. Take care.